jerk. Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Andrew Jackson. You have been watching the MLily Cup Finals, Game 4, Ke Jie versus Sedol. Ke Jie leads the series 2 games to 1 in this best of 5 or first to 3 series, depending on whether you're coming or going. So if you want to see more of these, you better hope Sedol wins this one. It looks like it's a great game so far. If you're watching, the commentary will start. Myungwon will show up at 9 o'clock, as we have done previously. And the players will be on lunch break between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. So somewhere in there, we're going to take the stream down. We'll put another one up, do that whole 9 yards. Also, your transcriptions this evening are Longstride Baduk, aka Peter Nelson, and Kevin Huang, aka Go Talk. They're both moderators in your various chat rooms, keeping y'all on your best behavior. They'll be joining us. We'll be 3 idiots talking about Go. So if you have some beginner questions for us, we would be happy to try and answer them to the best of our ability.
9 p.m. What time?
We're at 5 right now. 9 p.m. Pacific time zone. Thank you, dear. Anyway, 9 p.m. It'll be there. So the three of us, Peter is 6 Dan AGA, Kevin is 3, I am 4. So if you guys have some questions, we can certainly give you some opinions prior to Myungwon showing up. So yet again, this is MLily Cup Game 4 of the finals. They're playing for $300,000, in excess of $300,000 US. It is 2 games to 1 in Ke Jie's favor, and we'll be back. Talk to you later. Bye. You heard it here first. Peter is even wearing pants tonight. Hello and welcome to the Three Stooges Talking Go, also known as the behind-the-scenes look at uh, what goes into these broadcasts. I'm Andrew Jackson. That is not Myungwon Kim. Let's turn off that label. That is Peter Nelson, 6'9", fresh, and that is Kevin Huang. There we go, Kevin Huang, aka Go Talk. Your two fearless transcriptionists, sitting here watching intently, waiting, just waiting for the players to make so much as a single move. They will pounce, bring it to you.
This is quite the game.
Quite the game so far, right? So what do you think? Who do you guys like better? First of all, I guess we should start there.
Well, so everyone's hoping a little bit that Lee Sedol is going to win, so we'll have a game 5.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. I mean, everybody wants Lee Sedol to win to make it game 5. No
Yeah.
question.
I mean, he's kind of the underdog too, so it's maybe a little bit easier to root for him.
He's the underdog, I guess, kind of when we consider the stats so far. He's the underdog when you consider the recent matchup, right? Like, so it's what, 4-1 or 5-1? 5-1. They've played 6 times, and Ke Jie has won 5 times, which is
Right.
which is pretty incredible. So if you take a look at the statistics, he said all here does have the 18 international titles. Ke Jie has only got 2 here, so anyway,
That's
it's
the first
definitely
comment. We all have glasses.
we
What are the
do all have
glasses?
glasses. That's right. This is one of those things that happens. Yes, if they do go to game 5, they will actually have to draw for color again. So they've been alternating through game 4, and if they actually go to game 5, there'll be another draw.
That's cool. I'm hoping for a very violent game.
Why is that?
I just think that those make for the more interesting games. Every time it's just like, oh, let's just push the boundaries here and there. Nah, I want blood.
Well, we kind of got the beginnings of a violent game, right? It looked like the bottom situation was going to be very unstable, but it seems like now it's just 2 weak groups, right? There's that one in the lower left corner for white and the one in the lower left corner for black.
Is the lower left?
Is it?
Peter, since you're slightly stronger than us, is white in a dangerous position in the lower left?
Well, so to me, it kind of feels like black's far lower left group. So the 4 stones on the left side, those are it's definitely not weak, but it could become weak if white goes a little bit higher. And white's corner is a little weak, and then black's 6 stones with that really beautiful shape, like h5, h6, that group,
Right.
that's also kind of weak. And then white's group to the right of that is, I don't know. I think it's a good game for Lee Sedol because there's a lot of weak group or potentially weak groups, and like a lot of chaos. And in my Lee Sedol theory of Baduk is that he thrives when games really chaotic. And if I have no idea what's going on, then I feel like he's doing well.
Then he's gonna win. That's great. And also it seems like the games where Ke Jie has been able to dominate, he sort of he just seems to effortlessly come out of the opening with the lead, and he doesn't ever really seem to have to try really hard to keep it.
Yeah,
I don't really know how he does it. It's like magic.
Yeah, I don't. And that's what it felt like to me in the Samsung Cup. The 2 games they played. Isidol, he just played really calm, regular moves, and then about 100 moves in, he was behind by 20 points. No one knows how Ke
How
Jie
did he do it? It was ridiculous. I mean, they were able to find out after the fact, but while the game was in progress, it certainly seemed like nothing out of the ordinary happened, and then just like that, it just vanish, smoke.
Right. So who knows?
So
it looks like white has a little bit better influence to the center, but black has more territory. So it's kind of it's been the story of these two over the last 3 games where Lee Sedol gets more influence and kind of has a bigger potential.
Yep, and Ke Jie grabs the cash.
Right, and then so for Lee Sedol to win, he has to profit from attacking Ke Jie's weak groups, and he has not been successful the last couple nights.
Right.
So I guess maybe I bet Ke Jie, pretty smart guy. I wonder if he's playing that exact style to keep
Well, it
keep
keeps
that.
working for him. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That's hard to argue with that. So,
Hmm.
anyway, should be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Want to talk about some other interesting events that are going on?
Oh, absolutely. We should totally mention the AGA Pro qualifying tournament, which is going on all this week. So they started their play today, actually. So this is pretty funny. They didn't end up. We didn't end up checking the site internet ahead of time. So because they've got the Wi-Fi, we're still figuring out, and it's a Sunday since we start the event on Sunday. It means it's impossible to get anybody to come in and check it out. So it's been they're trying to figure out if they can get someone from the staff to get them some kind of connection. They weren't able to keep up a Skype call, let alone a stream, so kept getting disconnected. Even KGS was having trouble staying connected. But they are recording highlights. They are going to have Myung and Kim do some analysis, do highlights of those games, and we'll be posting those to the AGA's YouTube channel. We'll be uploading those as they happen. A couple interesting things happened already. Eric Lee and Ben Lockhart faced each other in round one, and I think Eric emerged victorious, which is going to be tough. I think that mentally having to do that in the first round is I mean it's the draw. You got to be able to deal with this kind of stuff, right?
What type of event is this? Is this like a single elimination?
No,
or-
okay. So what it is it's a round robin tournament, and then the top finishers in the round robin play each other in a best 2 of 3 or 3 of 5. I forget which.
I think it's 2 of 3. If
Is
they're
it 2 of
doing it
3?
the same way when Gongsheng did his.
That's right. So there you go. So that's what's happening right now. We'll be bringing you those games. They happen. You can also watch them on KGS. They're recording those games on KGS, and that's the whole team. That's Chris Garlock, Dennis Wheeler. I think Tyler Oyakawa is helping doing some of the streaming stuff if they can get the internet figured out. It's all put together. Are you really fanning yourself? Did that really just happen? First you're wearing pants, now you've got a fan.
Goodness, he's got to show his Go memorabilia.
Right.
But it's going to be an interesting pro qualifier. I suggest people watch it, just if not for the backgrounds, for the people who are playing.
That's right.
I know that
these are the future stars, right? Like some of these kids might be the ones going to Korea to study with KBA if they win. So we have a move.
Yes.
What do we?
Ke Jie's been thinking about this one for a while.
Yeah.
It is
But
there.
Wow.
no, I think it's interesting because Eric Lee has played a lot overseas and has represented America, and also I know Ben Garlock. Not Ben Garlock. What's his name? Sorry.
Lockhart?
What's his name?
Ben
Yeah,
Lockhart.
Ben
Yeah, Ben Lockhart.
Yeah, Ben Lockhart has also been taking the game very, very seriously.
That's right.
So,
He's been studying in Korea.
He played like against like the first round of a pro tournament, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was the Samsung. It was the Caltex. He was in one of them. I don't know. He's got an entry on goforgo.net.
Yeah, I remember he got to play several games.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He actually made it through the opening group stage, I think, which was pretty cool.
It was very impressive.
I did joke with my teacher once whether I could become a pro, and she said, "If they run out of high dons in America, maybe you have a chance."
If we run out, huh?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're gonna run out of high dons. Maybe you have a chance.
Your
It's
teacher,
like, there
your
was no
teacher's got a bit of a wit. I don't know if you know
Yeah,
that
there's a
already.
lot of witty repartee between me and her.
Right. Yes, indeed. I think we've seen some of that. Oh man.
But yeah, I would say that ends. It's for the next however many days.
It should be done by next Saturday. So it'll be for the next, I think, through Friday. I think either if there is a last, it's one of those things where the games could end up sooner if the series goes 2-0 or 3-0, right? 2-0 or 3-1. Like just like this one, there's no guarantee of a game 5. If there is a game 5 and you're out there and you're wondering when will game 5 be, if Sedol wins this, game 5 is tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time, same channel, same place, same station. Probably the same folks with transcriptionists. No word on if Peter's gonna wear the same pants. I guess we'll figure that out.
Well, they don't
actually,
have the same hair.
tell you what, Peter, you figure that out, all right? Let us know what you decide.
Oh yeah, I'll put it on my blog. I'll keep everyone up to date on the pants situation.
That your weblog, the web zone.
Web blog.
Right.
So let's talk about this move.
Man,
I
this
mean,
is it was the last one I think I would have expected.
Well, I feel like it's kind of the natural move for black, but it's also like it seems obvious and it seems kind of slow. So usually we expect a pro to find something better, right?
Yeah,
right.
I would have thought maybe the diagonal move or the knight's move, but this one just seems. On the other hand, the shoe's really good. Or the shape's really good. The shoes. You can see that I am a natural broadcast.
Yeah.
Wording is hard.
When
Oh,
is
hey,
wording
that's
is hard.
solidifying.
But this is so if the shape below it is the empty triangle, this is the filled triangle, right?
Yeah, this is the bulky four.
We should show that
This is the
actually.
Tetris piece.
The Tetris piece. Oh, boom.
Okay, so white fixes the shape and then black fixes the shape. So now black's left side group is completely, I'm going to say 100% alive.
But
Yeah.
white now needs to move out again, right? Is he gonna extend at G8? Is he gonna jump at E9?
He needs to keep up the attack, I hope.
Oh, hey
But then he
Peter.
also has this middle white group's
What
safety
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch
is a
this.
concern as well.
I'm gonna switch to the demo board. So I can actually explain. I can make some marks and stuff. People can see what we're doing. So one of the reasons that we're doing this, because some folks are saying, "What is this?" I told this would be Myungwon. I told this would be professional. Who are you guys? Last night we had Day9 give us a tweet. We had a whole bunch of folks pile in the chat who it was their first time seeing Go, and so we proceeded to make terrible StarCraft analogies for like the next hour and a half as they came to us. We had some of them were pretty good. Some of them were better than others. I'll put it that way. So,
I had
but
one good one and several bad ones.
but we do know that Myungwon's commentary can sometimes be pretty high level. So we want to know if you want to ask us some questions. Now is a good time to do it because you don't have to worry about Myungwon trying to understand what you're saying, which is a problem that I have all the time. Anyway, what I was going to say was that where are we here? Was that these triangled stones here are a filled triangle, whereas these three stones right here are an empty triangle. And the difference is naturally this one versus this one. So a filled triangle is such a nice shape.
So white has just reduced the number of weak white groups down to just one again.
One of you guys has some echo there. I think it might be Peter.
Oh, it could be. I'm not wearing headphones. Sorry.
No worries. But you are wearing pants.
Allegedly.
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 Don't. Oh man.
I am curious. Oh, yeah. Black continues the attack. What interesting Aji points we can find in this game?
For
Or
white,
if it's
you mean right now?
for both sides. I mean, before white solidified his group on the lower left, I mean, he had that interesting poke into the tiger's mouth.
Yeah, we should. Let's go back and look at that. What do you say? Let's go back and look at that. So what the heck?
Wow.
Go back here. Oh wow. Oh, there's your move.
Got a couple moves here.
All right. What we're gonna do? We're gonna do it for real.
Let me also check Twitch.
Boom.
Oh,
boom,
there are some Twitch peoples talking.
Boom. Okay. Now we've got the game there in the upper left-hand corner. So yeah, this is the opening pattern that we've seen. We haven't seen this attachment at C3, and this was super interesting. I thought that F17. So are you guys seeing the game, the demo board that I got here?
I have to load it up. Give me a second.
Take your time.
What account
Let me
is
see.
it on? What is it on KGS?
Yeah, it's at US Go
his
7.
demo board.
Oh, 7.
7.
Let's answer some questions here. I think these are some ones that we might be able to answer.
Great.
One person says, "Does white have to worry about the amount of territory black is getting?"
Absolutely.
What do you guys think? I would say during a fight, the thing that's in the risk of dying
Takes
that's usually the
precedence.
chief. It takes precedence.
Sure.
I think the other side of it is that you can't just attack blindly. You have to make sure that you're getting something out of it, and I think that's what we saw with this recent white solidifying move.
Right, right.
Taking into account what he can build while he's attacking.
So yeah, there's no question that black's cash down here in the bottom right is a big deal. So the cash down here is a big deal, but it's also sort of a known quantity, right? This is 10, 20 points, 25-ish points. And white is also balancing that here on the right with an equivalent amount. And the two corners in the top side balance each other out as well. So it's this group in the bottom left which is the biggest danger for white right now. The thing that seems the most natural for me, which would be white extending here, I would be worried that there's a cut. Right? This would be bad news bears. So
Yeah.
So I don't know what white can do here, because if white doesn't do anything, or if white just protects the cut somehow, it would seem that this is really dangerous. So
Yeah.
so what's
Is
the
white able to live inside?
and if white gets out, what's the best way for white to try and get out without having that cut? Would be an interesting question.
So what do you think if white gets completely surrounded? Is there a way for white to live inside?
Well, what do you think, Mr. Six? Quick life and death problem.
Mr. does life and death all day.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I think white can save some of it, but maybe we'll lose the E4, E5 stones. If white just does the Hane at B3 and then extend.
I can give you control. Actually, your US goes 6, right?
I am.
Because that.
I don't know if I can do two things at the same time though.
Oh my gosh, we'll test your multitasking skills. You say 2, but it's actually like 4 because you're also moderating the chat, checking Taijin.
So if black does this and white connects, then this, and then there's clearly not enough space inside, right?
Clearly not. Except for there's C5. Right.
Interesting. So it could get dicey, but it looks like there's something. Oh, there's an actual move.
There's an actual move. Let's go back to that one. Here, I'll take control back of
so
this one.
White is still running out.
Okay.
Of course. The interesting thing about this, and it's something I think we should at least mention once, is when black runs out, it also does affect white's potential territory on the right. Correct?
You mean when black runs out with this group here in the middle?
Yes,
Find some
with
kind
his
of a
weird
point out
Tetris
here.
piece.
Yeah. Although I don't think it's a weird Tetris piece. I think this is a really good looking move. I was thinking that maybe the diagonal would be a better, but I guess that leaves behind. That's not as good shape. Now I see it. I'm like, wow, this is totally the best way to do it. So Peter, maybe you can tell us why black doesn't try to go to the left here, like why he doesn't try something like f6 or f7.
F6. I think if black plays f6, then white's naturally going to play e6.
Go ahead and show us.
Just gonna. Oh, I have control again.
Yeah,
okay.
check that out.
So something like this. So if black is trying to separate the G7 stone, then black can do it, but then the left side is going to get eaten alive. So this push, white's going to extend, then black has to defend anyway.
Right.
Then it seems like I don't know. There's a bunch of crazy stuff happening.
Right. What we're showing here is
really
not
complicated.
What would happen. You'd want to know all of this stuff before you played any of it. But it does seem to me like there's still. What if white Hane's first? Oh no, that doesn't. Actually.
So basically, I think f6 is sort of just black, like escorting white along, saying, "Here, please separate my groups more cleanly."
Sure, that's right.
Like, I would love to, and then black will go through and.
In fact.
Either.
Oh, that looks better.
So looks like black has to respond here right away,
right.
And then there's still this, anytime, and then maybe this kind of shape.
That looks simpler.
So if Blackstone is here instead, that's much better for the outside, right? If it's at h7, then it's still doing work to keep White's group split, but if it's at f6, it's not really that helpful.
Right, absolutely. Totally. Sorry, I just ripped control right back from you. In fact, I would say, like the whole point is why this was a good move is because the implicit moves at B and C for white mean that it's tough for black to just push through here.
Yeah. So my teacher Hwang In-sang, he used to be a Korean Insei, and now he does just an online Yonkuseng Dojang League. He says that the weak group is like a fish. If you try to it's like, if you're trying to catch a fish with your hands and you just grab it, it slips away. Every time it slips away because the fish is so slippery. So
right.
if you want to catch the fish, you need to use a net,
right,
and kind of surround it more gently from the outside. So f6 is sort of like trying to catch the fish with your hands. It's just going to slide out. Whereas black plays e9 in the game. That's kind of like casting a wider net around the fish.
That was the proverb I always heard, was cast a loose net. That was the one that I always heard. Cast a loose net.
I always heard it differently. My favorite was Guo Zhuan used to say, the police surround the building. They don't rush in. They rush in, they got shot in the face, but they surround the building and then they go in.
All right. Well, that is a very different idiom. Is that based of a Chinese idiom, you think, or is that just Guo Zhuan trying to? Oh man.
There was if I remember correctly, someone was trying to go straight in and kill the person, the group, and then Guo Zhuan was like, "Why don't you just surround them?" And then once you surround them, now you can kill them. You don't want to give them. The police surround the building; they don't just rush right in.
That's right. They leave them with nowhere to go, and they just wait them out.
I have to say, as a vegan, I prefer that one because the whole catching a fish seems barbaric, but like murdering a person, at least the person has consent or whatever.
Guys, what are you doing to me here, guys? Guys,
it's a poor fish. Don't kill the fish. It's a nice little fish.
Okay.
Well, maybe you're taking the fish home to love it and pet it.
That's wonderful. Okay. That's amazing. So anyway, it seems like with that sequence you showed there, Peter, if there isn't truly a way for white in the lower left, then he's not as concerned about the thinner shape, jumping out with the thinner shape, because he can always go back and live and continue to attack the one.
It looks like should be able to live a little bit, but it'd be really painful to be completely surrounded, right? So white definitely at least wants to have really good Aji on the outside and then still live inside.
Right.
And if white can keep the h6 group split, then I think it's pretty good game for white, because white added that support move at 06, so now white's really strong on the right side.
Do you have a good StarCraft analogy for that? I mean, we've got fish and law enforcement
analogy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess 06 is kind of like maybe building a bunch of photon cannons before you need them. And so it's there. So you don't, it's like you take your third expansion and you put the pylons around the ramp, and then and so you block it so the vultures can't get in. And then now you've even added some photon cannons, so you're super safe.
So you're super safe and you cannot worry about it right there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about it anymore because it's going to be fine.
Just FYI, you're talking about 06 over there, right?
Yes.
This nice thick move. It connects the stones around the bottom, the stones on the right.
Right. Yeah. And so it's sort of like an indirect attack on black's h6 group, because if white's group is stronger, then it's like domino effect, right?
Right. Absolutely. So if you're just joining us, by the way, I'm Andrew Jackson. You were just listening to the sounds of Peter Nelson, aka Longstride Baduk, aka the transcriptionist this evening. The other fellow on the chat there's Kevin Huang, aka Go Talk, bringing you interviews with folks from the Go community and doing spirit fingers or something. I didn't catch it. Anyway, we are just providing beginner-friendly commentary until Myungwon gets here and the kids have to get off the stream. We hope you find it entertaining at the very least. But if you do have questions for us that you maybe don't want to ask Myungwon because he can be kind of intimidating, what with him being able to like lift cars with his brain. If you want to ask us instead, we can give it all of the respect and consideration it deserves. You guys didn't laugh for that. I appreciate that. That was very nice of you. But yeah. So this is the
cars with his brain.
No. The fact that we'd give people's questions the consideration and respect they deserve. Anyways, this is the fourth game of the MLily Cup Finals. They're playing for over $300,000. The game is live in Korea right now. In China, sorry. We're transcribing it. The game is brought to you by MLily, our fearless sponsor. MLily, the legend of comfort. If you need bedding or pillows or blankets, you also live in Asia, shop for MLily.
I've been thinking about getting a nice firm pillow.
Yeah? You're going to try and...
Well, so the pillow I have, it's very soft, which is good for a pillow, but also it's kind of bad because I feel like my neck isn't maybe getting quite enough support. So
you could get 2 stones stronger with more sleep.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's what I hear.
That is true.
It's like building the missile turrets just in time. That's what getting good night's sleep is.
Actually, the interesting thing about that is I remember my teacher's always like, if you want to play a game, you should be well rested and in the mood to play.
That is absolutely true. And so here's actually a question for you guys. Like, for those of us who play serious Go, we've all played tournament Go to get to where we are. Yeah. And we all know that like the mental part of it is like a huge component. The game is 2-1. Lee Sedol has to win, do or die. How does that change? Like, do you think that he is just a robot and is able to completely put that aside? Or do you think that that's in his head while he's thinking here?
I don't think it's his
first tournament.
Yeah, of course it's not his first tournament, but like, you just think it's okay.
I mean, so what did the little graphic say? He's got like 18 international titles.
18 international titles, that's right.
So I don't think he's also the underdog at this point. So that's
a good point. He is considered to be the underdog.
Ke Jie is number 1 in the world. Lee Sedol's number 6.
Right.
So he's definitely considered to be the underdog. So I don't think there's very much pressure on him at all.
Right.
There is an interesting thing, and this is going to be a slight shameless plug. I did interview with William Gangsheng Shi.
Right.
And he did talk about...
Is it really Gangsheng Shi there, Kevin? Is that really how you...
Yes, anyways. So there was an interesting thing I asked him about his opinion between Ke Jie and Lee Sedol. He did say he was a Lee Sedol fan, but he also said that a lot of people are pinning a lot of hopes on Ke Jie, and so Ke Jie also needs to prove himself. Right now, Ke Jie only has 1 title, and he's still considered a genius. So I'm thinking both sides have a lot of pressure, especially with the tournament and everything else behind their backs now. So in terms of what they have to think about.
So I want to turn that around and I want to say, Lee Sedol has won 18 tournaments, 18 international titles, a whole slug of domestic titles. He's my age, right? He's 32. I feel like you want to know if you can continue to keep up with the kids, right? Like you want to
the attack with a move.
This looks hard here.
So White needs to keep running. Go ahead, though. I just want to...
Yeah, no problem. I was just going to say, I feel like, because that there's some point where you might get overtaken, but you don't know where that is, right? Like, as somebody who hit his 30s here, like, you feel like you know the decline is going to be somewhere. At some point, there's a peak. Maybe you hit it already, maybe you haven't yet hit it. But I feel like for him to play and win this game, then he can be like, you know what, I still got another 5-10 years of career left, 20, 30, who knows how many, right? Whereas if he doesn't, it's like, there's the kids coming up from behind, right?
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's an interesting point. I've talked with other pros before,
Hmm.
and another plug. I do a interview with Stephanie Ming Ming,
Right.
and she also talks about how hard it is to become a pro. Uh, check out my channel if you want to see that. But
Mm-hmm.
What's your
there's
channel?
Go Talk.
Go Talk.
Here, I'll make a
Can you spell that for us?
Go Talk. Two
TOK.
yes. Um, but there's a lot of things that contribute to how hard it is to be a pro, between the amount they make just by playing,
Mm-hmm.
the a number of slots they have just to be in a tournament, and also the amount of energy it takes to play these long games. I mean, if we think about it, this is 3 hours basic time on both sides, along with extra thinking time afterwards
Right.
of this really just thinking about it. And if it's a big tournament, that's a lot of stamina you need in order to just keep up that effort. And so I think that also figures into the age and sort of when they're prime. I remember talking to one pro once and saying, and they said, if it was just a one-on-one game with rest beforehand, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
a tournament where a lot of pros are required to
Sure.
really rank up and win these tournaments, it's really tiring.
Not to mention these tournaments aren't necessarily like at the place. They're not in their. They may have to travel. They may be in a different city. Like if you're doing a domestic tournament, even then, a lot of the games are played, at the Korean Baduk Association's building, right?
Hmm.
And there's something to be said for sleeping in your own bed and having going to your coffee place in the morning, showing up at the venue, compared to traveling. Some of these where the games are spaced out, right? Like when was the semifinals? It was a month ago,
Mm.
right? Like you have this sitting on you for months at a time. You get to think about it for months at a time. I don't know. I feel like that would another
Yes.
argument in favor of the major tournaments just being more exhausting.
So do you think along those lines that it's maybe a little bit more difficult for Lee Sedol to have to go to a different country to play?
Nah,
Even
because I don't think Ke Jie is from where they're playing the tournament right now. Although I don't know that, so put me on.
But what he probably has lots of hundreds or thousands of adoring fans cheering for him in all these matches, right?
Right.
The crowd's like every time he plays
Right.
Tessage.
Absolutely.
I am so worried about all the random Aji that might be on White's running group. I know he's got it read out and he's thinking, it's on his mind,
It just
but
looks so scary.
there are just so many random little points where someone just plays a move. I mean, I know that they're probably waiting for the right time, the opportune moment
I
to
I think we should take
utilize that object.
an informal poll. What color would you prefer? Write down white or black. Which color do you like better in the comments right now? I'll go first. I'm gonna say that I like white, assuming that I've read the life and death in the bottom left correctly. You know what? Let's not do the assuming. I like white better. Go ahead, Peter. Who do you like better?
In this position right now, I would want black.
Okay,
I
But
Kevin.
that's only because I can't figure out this Aji in the middle. I feel like black can cut it to pieces.
Can you be the tiebreaker for us?
I agree, and I think black is interesting. I think what we're seeing here, feel free to disagree and prove me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but black has a lot of cash right now. Would you say so? Or black at least has some cash?
Black has some cash, but white's potential on the right doesn't look bad.
But it's potential. And so between the fighting and, I mean, there are certain sequences, the after Joseki at the upper right, I mean, that there's a sequence there.
Uh-huh.
And that I think we can probably ask Young Wong to play. But there's a sequence there, and then once the center fighting finishes, I think White's gonna really have to try hard to get something good out of this. So I personally feel that if I had to choose, I would like black just because I like having cash in pocket.
Mm.
Okay.
The potentials here always worry me because I'm never able to capitalize on it.
Wow. Okay, so it is very close. Polling the audience, we have a nearly 50-50 split, uh, including some very outspoken Lee Sedol supporters, uh, which is always great to see. You know, that's the other thing is Ke Jie's his fan club is just getting started, right? Like people have been cheering for Lee Sedol for decades now, right?
Ah.
But you know, actually, this is pretty interesting. I went back and I looked. You know, the guy Dwyron called Ke Jie as an up and comer like years ago.
Ooh,
He
that's
spotted
a
him.
sharp cut.
Oh my gosh.
See, I was in my mind thinking Black would extend, so one to the left of where he played,
Hmm.
and then push through at f6 as like a double peep.
Huh.
But
We will have to ask Myungwon
hmm,
about this because this is one of those things where the Three Stooges may not be up to the task of analyzing.
I do you guys look at pro games much?
yeah,
I like to.
I just don't understand what's going on.
I just like to play guess the next move.
That is
I
why
see.
you fail.
If I over the course of like a 250 move game, if I get like 5 or 10 guess the next moves right, then I feel pretty good.
Yeah,
Now,
5 or 10.
if you guess the right move, I always feel like because even at our club, someone will say, "Oh, I saw that. I knew you'd play that move." And it's like, but did you know why? Like, that's what I like to quiz the people who say that to me at my club. And it's like, "Oh, I knew you'd play that." And it's like, but knowing and like guessing are two different things. Like understanding why I might have played that or whatever.
Oh man.
But
Hmm.
so I mean, when you look at these programs, how do you like? Do you sort of understand what's going on,
Personally,
or
so there's a couple different modes that I use when I'm looking at the pro games. There's sometimes when I try to read out the fight that happened, like I'll see the fight, I'll go back and I'll read it and I'll try and find out, you know, what's wrong with what I think is an obvious move. The other thing that I'll do is like when a fight settles down and they tanuki, I try and like backtrack and be like, okay, so the fight's cooled off. Why are they playing here? Like, so for me, I find that that I can help, look at the direction. I can get some tips direction where I'm like, wow, I think they should have played here, but they didn't. They played in this totally different direction, and try and
mm.
list all the reasons I can for why they played in their direction rather.
See, like one of the things for me was I watched a person analyze it, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a high level analyzation,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy went into like why he didn't go one line over, and it was this long thing, and I was just like, oh, I thought that was just correct extension, but then when he explained why he went one line over for all these other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I'm never gonna get this, and that is why I fail.
There you go, man.
But I don't know how are you feeling about this game right now, Peter?
With the cut, well, I
Well,
mean,
now I feel worse. I
for
feel like
black, you feel worse for black or for white?
yeah, because well, okay, I'm sure I'm missing plenty of stuff, but
Right.
I feel like D9 is really good for white now, and then once black
Atari.
connects, and then black or white pushes again at D8. Oh, and I was right.
Yeah,
Oh no.
you heard it here first.
Yeah,
Goose ladder. Wow,
and
this
then
is
and black can't cut.
So what's the plan then? What's the? Oh, maybe now he does that double. No, that doesn't help.
oh,
Ah,
here comes the Aji. Here comes the Aji.
It's
this
crazy.
is gonna be a big trade.
Can he just go through and at C8 now?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the trade.
Huh. Also, what about
I guess
B3? You were looking at B3 as a possible way for life. I don't think that is life, but
no, no. I think it can live, but you have to give up the D3, E4, E5 stuff.
hmm,
Because when black pushes at E3, you have to just make two eyes in the corner instead of trying to save it all.
right.
Otherwise, it becomes a false eye.
Okay, I buy that.
I'm at least getting my wish that I wanted it to be bloody.
sorry.
So I'm pretty happy.
Just because it's bloody doesn't mean it's over soon. To put that out there, just because some of these earlier games I've been amazed at how quickly there's a big trade, somebody loses a bunch of stones, but it's not enough to be a knockout punch, right? There's still enough potential, or there's still some weakness.
There is measured fighting for sure, but I always like a fight because at least you understand. Oh, that's what.
Yeah.
At least you understand. Oh, what he says?
Oh man, I can't wait for Young One to show up.
Young one, save us.
I
Is
feel
this
like
sacrifice on a grand scale?
This is the other thing. Is like when I'm reading pro games and stuff like this, I have a lot of trouble finding out like when something like this happens and I say, so who's better? I have a hard time being able to answer the question when I'm just reviewing on my own.
if white ends in Sente, it's going to be so good for white. Even if white loses the corner.
Even if white loses the corner? So the corner will be
Yeah.
what, like 25, 30?
You guys and your counting.
Well, because assuming white gets to push through at C8,
Assuming.
and if white gets Sente to play like P14, then white's upper left got so big.
Right.
Like the left side got so thick for white all of a sudden.
Yeah, if that left
There's gonna be
side...
a lot-
Well, he has to come in at like C16, and that's never... Oof, man.
Yeah. Black still has plenty of space to do something, but
On the
left
other
side
hand-
used to be really uninteresting because black had the two low, strong stones
Right.
at C7 and C9. But if they get cut, that's a huge swing in terms of the territory balance on the left side.
Right.
But those were a lot of ifs. Who knows who's going to end with Sente here?
Those were indeed a lot of...
Right, because if the left center white group gets strong, it goes well with the upper left white corner, right?
Right, exactly. On the other hand, that gives black... How much cash? That gives black... I want to say that gives black in excess of like 55 points of cash, plus whatever he gets in the upper right. White needs to convert like everything?
Well, upper right...
not everything.
Upper right white already has a stone there, so
That's
that
true.
also helps the evenness.
That's true.
I mean, upper left for white already has two stones there, so it's a little bit more in his favor, I would say.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, like white's upper left is better than black's upper right because it's closed, whereas in the upper right, white can jump into the corner really easily. So white's territory is a little bit more secure. Plus, white has that fat 7.5 point Comey. Oh,
That's right. It's
Wait, is it officially
so
7.5
juicy.
now?
it's 7.5 in Chinese games, at least.
Are they using Chinese counting, or is that...
Chinese
I
tournament.
think so. Yeah.
see.
Or at least
Yeah,
MLily is a Chinese sponsor.
I see.
I believe that is the name.
Cut. Block.
Right. Expected so far.
Right.
So-
When Comey becomes 7.5 for Japanese counting, that'll be the day.
Yeah, that would be...
So it's going to come down to if I assume white's going to push at C8, and then if black has to play B2, then I think it's pretty good for white overall.
So do you think another fight's gonna develop outside of this, right? Or is this gonna... It can't be peaceful after this.
I
don't know where the fight would be. It looks like everything else is really strong.
That's true.
I can't read
I
this.
I'm still thinking about the upper right where black will put his stone in between the two white extensions. I keep seeing that. I don't know if any developments are good for black.
Well, we've been seeing the Q11 attachment invasion in this series as opposed to R12. But the latter is not working for black this time.
When the ladder doesn't work, he just goes back and makes a bigger corner, correct?
Yeah, like you might think Black might just play S16 rather than invade right away. I don't know. It depends. I guess if Black thinks the game is good enough, then Black would just play S16.
Right.
That is true. I mean, the one thing is still a lot of what the pros play around with in a way is the concept of risk and the least risky way to win.
Everyone loves
Did you
that
ever
game.
hear Janice Kim's idea that Go is a game of chicken? Right, you want to make it as so there are some Go games that become like real brinksmanship, right, where you leave it as weak as possible, right, and they make it as threatening as possible, and neither side is gonna, it's not actual outright hostilities. It's all just seeing how close you can get. There's B3. Sung Kim, our commenter in the YouTube chat, he is now 9 Dan Pro until his next guess. In which case,
So, is this is an outright life? Is this just?
no, I think it's a Ko. I think it's a Ko.
Oh gosh, it's another Ko.
Another Ko.
Well, I mean, just like last game, there was a few Kos, right? I mean, there was that one Ko near the end that just kept going on forever and ever. So, Kos make the transcribers cry. Or at least made me cry.
I don't know about this. I thought that White would just go through at C8. Because I think if Black gets to play C8, then White's center group there just becomes heavy. Like it could be attacked.
You guys, you realize we've done all this. Myungwon's gonna show up and he's gonna tell us what for. Like it's
that
really
makes
gonna
it
be
even more interesting because then
Yeah?
everyone wants to see us be so wrong, and then we'll just be apologizing. to the
Look, if
chat.
people want to just see us be wrong, they could just ask my wife. Like that's not like this is an easy one. It's right. 2 drums and cymbal fall off a cliff. On the other hand, if he does keep it alive, then that does mean that he can still dream of pressuring the Black group in the middle, right?
I mean,
it's a dream.
It's a dream at this point. It can't be done.
Well, it looks like White has a lot of like tiny weaknesses, like at F10. White can easily give up 1 stone, not a big deal. But if you're trying to kill the group or
You
like
can't,
attack the group,
right? Then
you can't just give
right.
up a stone. Yeah.
could it also be that it's gonna take Black a lot of effort and moves to kill White, and so it gives White a lot more Aji and stuff to use on the outside?
Right.
So maybe that's also he needs this corner to be some form of Aji to use for elsewhere.
Man.
Someone on Twitch said, "Did I accidentally find Andrew Jackson?"
Yes, a wild Andrew Jackson appears.
Wild Andrew Jackson appears. Right. I'm a lot less likely to shoot anybody than the other Andrew Jackson. Man.
Or take a shot.
Didn't he win like 12 duels in his life or something ridiculous like that?
It's crazy. You have to figure the guy was out of his mind. Like any point you not once, not twice, but like a dozen times stand 20 feet away from someone and say, "Take your best shot." Like seriously, like with a gun, not like take your best shot, like punch me in the teeth.
Yeah.
Like you gotta figure that is not somebody who's right in the head.
Well,
Well,
yeah, I mean, like I think
times
I'm
were a bit different back then. Come on.
I think I'm like a pretty honorable person and stuff. But if I'm in one of these duels where if I lose, I'm literally dead, I'm gonna turn around early and shoot.
You're
like,
just gonna be
100%
like,
of the
you're gonna
time.
turn on 9 and live with the dishonor of it. You could also just like leave.
I would rather live greatly dishonored than die.
So so here's the other thing: is I know that he did get shot in one of his early duels, and he lived the rest of his life with like a lead musket ball in his body, and we know that lead is not that great for your mental faculties, right? So, you got to figure that once you've had your first duel, I'm saying maybe it makes it a lot easier to have your second, like tattoos or something, right?
There's an interesting interview where they said it was someone who offended his wife's or his beloved's honor, and he said like he let him shoot first just so he could shoot him.
Right, just so he could shoot him back. That's
Like just like, aha, you've used your one shot. Now I
now
decide.
my turn. Oh man, that's just crazy. So I did just chat with Hajin, and
Mm,
you are not going to believe what she told me. I said that they were asking about her in the chat, and she told me
mm.
to tell the chat that she's not yet married. That's the word from Hajin, is that she's still single. So I swear, God's my witness. Cross my heart, hope to die. Absolutely, this is what
I
she
need a
told me.
transcript.
You need
Wait,
a transcript?
really?
There's something I want to say, but I think I should save it for off chat.
Just let that one go right on by. I don't know what it is, Kevin, but discretion is the
Yeah.
better part of valor. Here's the quote.
Hmm.
Verified.
Oh, wonderful.
So there. Anyway.
I see. But anyways, go talk.
Go related. Let's bring it back to the
let's-
go here.
has the betting begun on any of the? Right
On
now,
Taijin?
Black has an overwhelming amount of bets
On Taijum?
on Taijun.
That's tough.
Is- I mean, I think someone once said that.
Because that's Lee
Taijun-
Sedol's home team, right? Like,
Right.
Well, what server are you on Taijim? Are you on a Chinese server or?
oh, that's a better
I'm
question.
on Taiwan of all things. So
Yeah, that's gonna be Ke Jie favorite though.
yeah, that is true.
I'm on Korea 1 on W Baduk, and it is Black favored, but it's 59-41, so it's reasonable.
Well, let's play guess the next move. I guess I still think it's gonna be a ko. I'll
So
put
P1.
I'll put 10 pride points. That it's gonna be a ko.
I think he's gonna play C10.
He's gonna
C10.
ignore the lower left corner altogether.
Are you gonna give me
Why-
two moves?
Why would you play C10 instead of C8?
Maybe C8 is better. C8 or C10, fine. Those they're similar. They're similar idea. If the implementation is all of it, but seriously, similar idea.
Yeah.
I don't think
C10
he's gonna play
looks-
on lower.
oh. I still like C8, but
No one's gonna play in the corner. Am I alone on this?
It's just it doesn't
I think
seem.
I'm alone on this.
seem
I just feel like
small.
if Black gets to extend at C10, then the left side is garbage for White.
Oh, that's true.
You
Yeah.
know, compared to if White pushes through and cuts that one stone off.
So is
But
that-
to me that looks
Are you agreeing with me there,
enormous.
Peter? Are you agreeing with me? C10 or C8?
You've converted
Yeah, I think it's C8. That's what I would play at least.
Right.
me. You've converted me. Yeah. I mean, I forgot how weak White's group is right now, so
Right.
he still needs another move.
Yeah, it looks like it's big on points and on influence, and it prevents him from having a huge weak group. But who knows?
I guess. So just FYI, if you're just joining us, you're wondering who these bozos are. I'm Andrew Jackson. Joining me are Peter Nelson, Kevin Huang. We are the amateurs. This is the amateur talk hour where we will find out how incredibly wrong we are. So tune
I
in
can't wait.
in an hour and a half where Myungwon will let us know that we totally misread the life and death in the lower left, or dramatically misjudged the strength of the groups, or anyway, looking forward to hearing his insightful analysis. I still feel like I like Black better. It's so many points. Anyway, so that commentary will start in an hour and 20 minutes. So don't go anywhere. The players will go on break in, I guess they only have another 25 minutes or so until lunch. So
Really?
Yeah, so once the players go on lunch break, we're going to leave this here for you guys to chat and make merry. And some point we'll bring the stream down and then bring it up again so we get a break in the archives. And you'll be able to follow all that. So that's the plan. That's who we are. You have any other questions, let us know. If you want to see more of this, then hope that Lee Sedol wins, because if he does, they will have Game 5 tomorrow. And if you are sick of this, then hope that Ke Jie wins. But even if Ke Jie does win, we will still have the AGA Pro qualifiers. We'll be posting videos from that all week. We'll also be trying to get an actual stream with the players, where you can see, you'll see them sweat, cry, the whole 9 yards. All of the suffering, the agony, the ecstasy of this game that we all know and love so much will be there. And after that, we'll also be broadcasting the Haylee, aka Hajin Lee, Ridan professional from the KBA, is going to play Antti Tormanen next Saturday on OGS.
Is there commentary for that?
The commentary will be brought to you by Calvin Sun and Stephen Hu. Stephen Hu and Calvin Sun are going to. This is the youth, the youth of. That's right, youth. I think you have to spell it with an F. Anyway, they're going to be providing the commentary, which I'm really looking forward to, and I think that they may also have Hajin and Antti chime in as well. I don't know if they're going to do a hangout. I don't know what they're going to do. You'd have to ask them. But we will have more details on that, and we'll keep people informed. The way to do it is to subscribe. Also, you can go to usgo.org and subscribe to the AJA e-Journal, the largest English newsletter about Go. I think I can say that. I don't know. Maybe the Europeans will inform me if Ranka, the IGF thing, is larger. Not sure. Anyway, the AJA e-Journal has updates and digests from pro, amateur, everything going on. They just posted something about the recent Mexican-U.S. friendship kids match, which is pretty cool. Anyway, subscribe. Help me out here. Am I forgetting anything? Is that the whole deal?
You know more than I do about the Go happening.
Really?
Sounds great to me. I'm
All
just
I know
staring
is
at the
how to play
CA.
black and white place black and white stones on a board.
Something tells me you guys don't share my enthusiasm for this.
Oh no. That couldn't be farther from the truth.
That is the truth for me.
I'm really happy to be here. This is great. Oh, and I'm really excited for the Haylee and Antti game because I heard a lot about. I was following Antti when he was in Insei in Korea. I mean in Japan.
Yeah.
Like going through the pro exam, and I was really bummed out because he was doing really well for like the first week of the pro exam.
Yeah, he was taking on everybody. It was great.
And then he started slipping. So he ended up with a pretty decent result. He was like middle or a little bit better than middle of the pack. But I was kind of bummed because it seemed like not as good a result as he was hoping for. And then they made him a pro.
They made him a pro anyway. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Have you guys ever heard of how the pro system works over like the pro qualification works in like Japan?
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
You mean other than the one that everybody who watched Hikaru no Go found out about?
Yes, outside of that one, I remember I think Mark Lee at this year's Go Congress was talking to Maeda Ryo, whatever, about it because Mark still wants to very much become a pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was talking, and I think Bomgun Cho was there next to him. And there's this whole idea of league play. You play a certain number of games to get into this league, and there's like a D League, C League, B League, A League. And after you win enough on the D League, then you get into the C League.
Right.
And then if you win enough, then you can actually become a pro. Which is really crazy. And then it's like, but to become to get into it costs like however much for the entry fee, and then you can get knocked out, and then you have to play enough just to jump back in, and it's a significant investment of time and energy to do that. But it's really interesting.
At Maeda Sensei's workshop for teaching, where he was talking about, he went through the whole system in a lot of detail, and I know. But he's from the Kansai team, not the Nihon team. So I'm not sure if that's. But like you, I thought it was really great. Where like the A League player, the best in the A League, they just automatically become a pro after that year. I thought that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
You don't have to. Yeah, because like some people can have over a long extended period, they can show really good results, but then maybe not do so well.
Well, you did that
clutch moment.
Kevin, didn't you do that interview with the guy from China who was at the Go Congress this year, talking about how even though he had performed well enough as an amateur if you win enough points in amateur events over the course of the year in China, you can qualify and become a professional. But he elected not to because he enjoyed winning the amateur tournaments. Like he knew that if he won the amateur tournaments, it was enough for him to make a living at it. So he was like a professional amateur, right?
In a way, yeah. If I remember correctly, it's on the official AJA YouTube channel, by the way, if you guys want to see it. with him was more just a lifestyle choice in terms of what he wanted to spend his time with, and also enjoy, and how he was able to function, rather than just becoming a pro or not. But because yeah, he said he tried, I think the number was 6 times to become a pro in the when he was just like a kid, and
Wow.
he failed every time. And then I think he said, and his funny
I
story was
remember
that
this because you asked him and he said, "This is a funny story." And you were like, "How is this a funny
this
story?
is
This
yeah,
sounds
it's
awful."
his notion of humor is completely different than mine.
Right.
But yeah, one of the times he was like, the cutoff was third, the top three would become pro, and he was four.
Hmm.
And he said later on he became, when he was in an amateur, they said, oh, one time they was like, okay, if you become the top in the top three in this one, you'll become pro. And then he became fourth again. And so for him it was just continuously like being denied pro. But he was able to find stuff that he also wanted to do outside of just Go. And also he's able to play a lot as an amateur. And he must be incredibly strong, because he posted pictures of his progress on his own Chinese blog, and he's just like top #1. It's insane.
That sounds
But he did
awesome.
lose to Mark Lee, so I
Oh,
wish
that's
someone.
true. That video, we should track down that video. We can put a link
Yeah.
to it. He did lose to Mark Lee. He did not look very happy about it.
Oh no, you're thinking about Tong Yu Lin. Tong Yu
Oh,
Lin
that's right. That's right.
did the infamous mistake.
That's right.
Was that
But
the
it was
half
still a
point
close
game?
game, because I was hearing Mark and Myungwan analyze that game afterwards, and he said that even if he hadn't made that mistake, that there was still some great aji for him
Yes.
All right.
as a move. What?
He played in the corner.
What? What?
Yes.
What? What is this?
Redemption. Even though I changed my mind, redemption.
What is this?
What is going on now? I can't. I don't know.
What is this? I don't even.
So now I don't get it
I don't.
anymore.
Why do I? Oh
I'm happy
man.
even though I changed my mind, but now I have no idea what's going on.
Ah.
Go doesn't make sense anymore. Maybe they're playing by different rules.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right. That's right.
You don't try to surround the other person's stones. You just try to make colorful, pretty pictures.
And at the end, everybody hugs and everybody gets trophy.
Okay, so I guess white plays all these exchanges. So now black is completely settled on the left, and white doesn't have nearly as much on the left. But the trade-off is that black still has a weak group in the center,
That's right.
potentially.
Still
So
has
I
that
guess
possible weak group.
he must
Although
want to keep attacking that.
I don't know how weak it is.
so how does white attack black now?
That's a great
Um,
question. Well, first of all, white has to
it's
be
black's
out
move, and he
first.
just made it.
He just made the next move.
Yeah, black's trying to make himself safe, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. There's
There's an interesting.
the great question from the audience right here is, but does white have to attack black? And this is the
That's
question.
a counting problem.
Exactly. I'm going to channel Myungwon here and say, well, we should count. We should find out. Does white have to attack black? So what's the actual score?
So, gosh, should I just release the Gangsheng interview early? I was gonna wait till next week, but I could just
I'm going to quote Frank the Tank here. You do you.
Okay. Well, there's an
That's what I
interesting.
think.
Well, we talk about this as well, and he's saying right now, Go is very much reading.
Uh-oh, folks. Uh-oh. We have a
Huh?
special guest who's going to be joining early.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't even know what to think.
I have a guess who it is, but I don't want to say in case I'm wrong.
Well, I'll continue my talking until someone interrupts me again. But his position was that right now Go is completely about reading. It used to be about pretty shapes and stuff, but now it's purely about reading. And Ming has said the same thing. It's a lot about fighting, a lot about reading. And so which I think is what's turning into. It's not just a simple concepts thing. It's just a lot of reading, a lot of fighting, and a lot of just understanding these things. All those single ladies. But I think.
Hello.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, is it working? Is that who I think it
It's
is?
not working.
oh no.
No, it's here. You're here.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a camera,
Yeah.
but she's joining us
Oh.
live from the KBA building. It's Hajin Lee herself.
Oh wow.
안녕. 안녕하세요.
Her microphone's a little quiet. Let me see if I can turn it up. Oh no, that's as loud as it goes.
Do you mean mine?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
louder.
there you go. That's getting
Yeah,
a little
is
louder.
it better?
Yeah, that's much
Okay.
better.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining us, Hajin. Appreciate it.
Yes.
We're all sort of casually chatting here, and this is the preliminary. Myungwon's not going to start commentary for another hour, but the three of us have all just sort of been enjoying talking about the game and sort of sharing our thoughts on it. We hope you can tell us what's the you're watching while you're at work at the Korean Baduk Association right now. Is everybody watching the game at their desk? Do you have it like on in the
Um,
break room? Is like work actually happening, or is like everybody watching the game?
Okay, so some of us are watching on computer, but Baduk TV has the broadcasting from 1 p.m., which is like in 10 minutes. When the Baduk TV starts broadcasting, we will have this big screen on the office.
Oh,
Hmm.
how's the betting pool
By the way,
going? Are people excited?
yes, it seems like people are more betting on Ke Jie
Oh yeah.
because they are
Oh.
very realistic. No, I mean, like just in general on the internet.
Hmm.
Oh, I
But
see.
of course, at the KBA, we are all cheering for Lee Sedol.
I think we're
Yeah.
all cheering for Isidol as well because we want there to be another game.
Yeah.
Right, yes. Their
Hajin,
games
can I
are
ask a
quite
question?
interesting. Yes, of course.
How much of this game makes sense to you?
Probably a lot more of it than it.
Maybe 1 out of 10 moves.
Wow.
Maybe about 50%.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Hmm.
So much of this is surprising to me. So,
So that was something interesting.
Right.
Myungwon said this earlier. He said that most pro games he can predict like 80% of the moves, but for Isidol he can only present like 50% of the moves. He can only predict 50. Is there any way you can turn your microphone up any farther?
Okay, I'll try.
she gets a little
Is
bit
this
closer.
better now?
No, I don't.
Is this better?
Maybe if she gets a little bit closer to the mic.
Oh, it's a headset, so
Oh, there.
it's
It's a
quite
little better.
close.
Yeah. We'll be quieter.
I didn't know you already started, by the way.
Well,
Did you start earlier
we
today?
started. Well, so we just started. We put the broadcast up 5:30, but there hasn't been any informed commentary. It's strictly uninformed commentary. No offense. I hope you guys don't disagree with that assessment. And the reason we've been
Sorry?
doing that is
Okay.
because yesterday
You're
we had
dropping in and out, Andrew.
Yeah,
I'm dropping in
getting
and out.
robotic Andrew.
robotic
Yeah.
Andrew. Okay.
Yes.
Well, the reason we did that is because yesterday we had a bunch of beginners because we had some attention from we got the tweet from day 9 and we had all these beginners, so we didn't want them to just be looking at the board
Ooh, attack.
because there would be another 4 hours before Myungwon started the commentary. Oh my gosh!
Oh, I see.
Did you see this? Did you see this move coming?
I did. It was obvious, right?
Did you?
No.
Which one?
The peep
The
that he
move-
just played.
Do you mean the K7?
Yes. Maybe. No.
It peeps at a tiger's mouth.
Hmm.
Anyway, so Kevin, is it Kevin?
Yes.
Hi. Sorry, I wasn't sure, but I really liked your song,
Oh.
Article Congress.
Oh, that. I thought you said the videos I've been putting, but then it's that.
Oh,
That's
his
more
song.
embarrassing.
That's right. He did do
Yeah,
a wonderful song. if
That's no.
Peter,
Here is a video of that move
let's
on
put a
YouTube,
link to
right?
that video
He's
up.
turning so red.
Yeah,
Let's switch
It's
to.
hot.
He
It's
is
really hot
turning.
in this
He's
room.
turning very red. How are you gonna be all right there, Kevin?
I need to find a fan.
Yeah, you need to.
Have a
I'm
good fan
sorry.
around
You
me.
can borrow
But
Peter's.
it was really nice. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then who is the other?
Oh, that's Peter Nelson, also known as
Um,
Longstride. I think you met him in Seattle.
of course. Have you met?
Yeah, I was at the chapter meeting at the very end of Go Congress when you presented about
Oh yes,
the international the IGF, I think.
yes.
All your work is with the IGF.
Right,
So just
right.
briefly there, but I'm usually pretty quiet, so I don't say much.
But
um,
I saw you on chat.
ah,
Oh, connect.
Connect.
oh,
Which one?
W.
He peeped in both ways. So party pants. Where's?
It's looks like the Taiwan Taijim server is about 10 seconds ahead of W Baduk because
Mm.
Kevin's seeing the moves before I do.
Man, I can't find Kevin's video here.
So how is the game? Who is winning?
You're asking us? Oh man, this plan isn't working out very well, you guys.
I feel that black has more cash.
Yeah,
And then white has to have some good attack to use his potential. So I like. Oh, well then white plays that. So
oh,
So
interesting.
I like black more because I like cash. But
Oops, sorry. Yes.
Who do you think is winning?
White.
I think white is winning.
I don't know.
That sounds very decisive there.
But you know the corner is not live yet. I think that's the interesting point.
The
We
lower
have
left.
to look. Yes.
Oh? Or white needs another move.
Actually, white needs another move. No, actually, it could be cool. Wait,
Oh man,
it's complicated.
Yeah,
I believe you.
But it seems like white is active. I like that part.
Hmm.
So is Myungwan joining here for the commentary later?
Yeah, he'll be on in an hour. Myungwon will be here in an hour.
Right, at the usual time.
And that's right. And we'll begin there. So, if you guys are just joining us, I'm Andrew Jackson. Joining us on the line here, we have Hajin Lee, 3-dan professional from the Korean Baduk Association.
Never
Thank you
heard
for
of her.
sharing. If you've never heard of her, then yeah.
Right. No one heard of my name.
If
the
you've never
most
heard of
popular
her,
Go player on YouTube.
that's
Yeah,
right.
YouTube celebrity.
Well,
Oh.
so
Yes.
no, you first. Go ahead.
Can I ask something on a different topic?
Oh, absolutely.
How is it going at the pro tourney?
The pro tourney today has been so they just started play today. I know that Eric Lee beat Ben Lockhart as one of the first ones, and I think Aaron Ye beat Jeremy Chu, but I didn't see the end of that. They should post the results momentarily.
I see.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it should be pretty interesting. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? I shouldn't ask you that.
I thought Ben was strong candidate, but
Mhm.
then it seems like each year we have new strong players.
Yeah, that's right. I know that Jeremy Chu and Aaron Ye have been studying, and they're still very young, so they have a lot of
Right.
possibility. So you say, is everyone like at the office watching? They're all gonna like stop and like, I'm curious what happens at the KBA when there's a big match like this. Like,
Oh, actually, people don't get to stop working.
Oh,
They
that's so
work as
sad.
usual. But then, like on the hallway, there's this big screen of TV, and then
Mhm.
we can like walk back and forth and then like check out what's going on.
Oh man.
So maybe you have to go to the bathroom a little bit more often than usual.
That's right. That's right. I
Yes,
have to
yes,
go get more cups of tea, and
Yeah.
then that's right.
right, yes, right. Also, my place is quite close from the screen,
Mm.
so like people would often come to me and then ask like who is winning.
Oh, can you see it from where you're sitting?
Yes, yes, very
Oh, so
easy.
you've got the best seat in the office. I see how this.
Eh, Yep.
Oh
Hmm.
man. But do you guys
And then
all?
yes.
No, you first.
I was just going to say, like, if I get 10 questions, who is ahead, like about 8 or 9 times, I would say, it's complicated.
We would expect nothing less. I think that's a great way to be like, oh yes, it's complicated. I don't know. This is
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
How often, Haley, do
Yes.
you see them play a move that you just don't expect? Does that happen? Or is it just
is it like once
choices?
Mm,
is it like once you see it, you're like, oh, of course.
yes. It's more like once I see it. No, it's not that I couldn't expect at all. Most of the moves I could expect, but then, like, I would often think there are a few good looking moves, and then I don't know which one is better.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um,
So you see a couple possibilities, and then they surprise
Right,
you, and you're
right.
like, I don't. Why that one? Hmm.
hmm.
Or more like, yeah, sometimes like that, or sometimes there are moves that I thought were not good, but
Mhm.
then, like, one of the two players play, and then I have to figure out why that was good.
Right.
Mm. And some of that is just reading ability, I think, right?
Right, right. I
I
think
see.
so. Or, yeah, reading and judgment, I think.
Hmm. I see.
Well, because it's also the reading. We're not. I think when you're not playing the game, it's hard to be reading it as seriously as they are, right?
Yeah,
Even if.
yeah, that's true. Mm, yes.
Okay, so we also announced a couple times your upcoming game against Auntie. Are you?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's going to be this Saturday. Is that right?
January 10 in Korea. So January 9th in the US, I think. Yes, Saturday.
Yes. So it'll be Saturday for us and Sunday for you.
Yes.
And have you guys met each other? Do you guys have you guys played before?
No, actually, I heard of his name for the first time in that article.
Hmm. Really? Because I know that that you guys both have you guys both had some Go blogs, and that was actually when we were talking about him earlier, Peter. I thought you were going to mention his Go blog, which where he posted a lot of his games with his own commentary. Those were great to read.
Hmm.
I mean, they're not as good
Wow.
as Haley's videos, of course, but they were still they were the
Oh,
games
come on.
from his pro from the Insei League. He would have
Wow.
commentary from
Where
Kobayashi.
where can I find his blog?
The
I'm
blog was
interested.
called Go of 10. Go of
Ah,
10. And oh man. So, I guess the players are on lunch break.
Okay.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Do we still like white better?
Hmm.
Mm, that could be a wishful thinking, but I think so, yes.
Oh man.
Hmm. It looks like White can probably expect at least 20 points on the right side, but Black
Mm,
already has 20 points in the bottom right. So I think Black is definitely leading on territory, but White still has fairly good potential. So I don't know. I think it's complicated.
Right. White needs white also could have a weak group on the left, right?
I think it's okay now
There's
because
still a cut
it's
there.
connected to the corner.
Right? It's going to make it hard for him to make a lot of territory on the left.
Well, the cut doesn't really work because then white can push through at c10, right?
Right. Good point.
So I think that group is safe for now, but it's also not really doing anything. So
Right.
I don't know.
But if he can find a way to keep the game complicated, certainly last night's game had a lot of twists and turns. Not last night's.
Right, right.
Do you think they're practicing in between these matches, or are they just taking it, relaxing in between the two matches, in between each match?
Yeah, what do they do on the off day?
Are they like reviewing the game like, oh?
I'm not sure about Ke Jie, but Lee Sedol would have reviewed the first two games.
Mm-hmm.
He his major study is reviewing his own games, I think. And then he would sometimes do that like all day, like literally all day for like 15 hours for
Wow.
one game.
Oh. I can't do that.
Huh.
Yes, he is known to have this really deep analysis of each of his game.
I see. So he's probably learned something about maybe that he did wrong or right, and also maybe
Right,
about
right.
his
Well,
opponent, and he's trying to use that.
especially because
Yes.
the Fuseki in all of these games has been very similar. The pattern that we see on the right side, they've played with both colors in I think every game except the second one. Is that right? Or actually for
Right,
every
yes.
game.
Yeah, I think the shape on the right was exactly the same in games 2 and 3.
Right.
Yes.
And it was similar to game 1.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder why they are having the same opening again and again.
I like it better. No, I like it better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should probably try and wrap it up here. I'd love to grab a bite to eat here before we have to get started. Hajin, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any other? So, who do you think is going to win? Do you think he said I was going to pull it off? What do you think will happen?
Yes.
Do you think he's going to do it?
I think he is going to make it.
All right. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, guys.
Thank you, Hajin.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And so, if you guys are just joining us here for like the 8th time, I'll go ahead and make the announcement of what we are and what we're doing. I'm Andrew Jackson. Joining me, Peter Nelson and Kevin Huang, who are the game recorders who are helping make this this project happen. We're just hanging out, waiting for the real show to start in an hour, which is when Myungwon Kim, 9Dan Professional, will give us the commentary on the game, help explain everything that's been going on that we've seen so far. So, hope you've enjoyed this show. If you are just joining us for the first time, this game is called Go. Most of you do know what this is if you've been sticking with us this far. If you haven't, there's all sorts of tutorials and stuff. Folks in the chat will happy to help you out, point you in the right direction. And we are gonna go. We're gonna go back to just having the game. You won't be able to look at our beautiful shining faces, but we will return in about 40 minutes, and with Myungwon Kim and the analysis. So thanks so much. We'll see you. Don't change the channel.
Bye.
Okay, folks, we got 10 minutes to showtime here. Myungwon has let me know he is in traffic. We will try to get started as close as we can at the top of the hour. It's really great having y'all with us. Just I'm stunned at how many people want to see this game. I can't wait to hear what turns out. Interesting developments over the break was that apparently Niwei Ping thinks White is slightly ahead, and that the exchange of K7 for L8 was really great for White. Ditto for Black's push. So anyway, so we'll see what Myungwon says when he gets here. He's driving in Los Angeles, which sounds I don't want to. I live in Seattle. So anyway, we'll get him on the stream here, and we'll turn the stream off so we get 2 separate videos in the archives. So I will catch you in about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. You can stay in the chat, hang out. We'll still be here. Talk to you guys soon.